Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Sonia Smith, and I'm going to be your therapist for today. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. So, could you tell me your full name, please?
Lucille Christian.
Lucille Christian. So, what do you prefer that I call you?
Lucy.
Lucy. Okay. So, Lucy, I am glad that you were able to come for a session with us. And before we get started, there are certain things we need to talk about. First thing is confidentiality. I want you to know that everything we discuss in this room will remain in this room. I need for us to build that relationship so that you feel comfortable sharing stuff with me. However, if you tell me that you intend hurting yourself, committing suicide, or you intend hurting somebody else, homicide, I am going to have to report that to the authorities. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, also, if you tell me that you have hurt a child, abused a child, or abused an older person, an elder person, or a disabled person, I have to report that to the authorities. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me so far?
No, ma'am.
Okay, good. So, before we get started, we're going to look at an agenda. Now, you know an agenda is a list of things that we're going to be doing throughout this session. And the first thing on the agenda is the mood. We're going to look at, what your mood is like. Then we're going to look at how you're feeling. We're going to look at what has changed since, you were here the last time. Then we're going to look at problems that, and we're going to look at the problems that you're having. And then I'm going to explain to you what we do here for therapy. It is called cognitive behavioral therapy. So I will explain that to you further. Then we'll also look at, I'll ask you to pick out of all the problems, if you have more than one problem. What I'll ask you to do is to pick out one problem that, is the thing that might seem the most overpowering to you, that you need, the best help, more help with than anything else. Then we are going to look at, we're going to be looking at one specific problem, and then we're going to look at homework, because I'm going to give you some homework to do. Then I'm going to go back and summarize what we have done and do a feedback. You are going to give me a feedback as to how you think the session went. Let me ask you, what do you expect to gain from this session?
Just ultimately feel better.
Ultimately to feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. Okay. So I'm going to go back up to the top of the agenda. For your mood, I'm going to give you a scale of 0 to 10. 0 being the best mood that you could ever be in, and 10 being the worst mood you could ever be in. Over the last week and even today, into today, what is your mood like? Or what has your mood been like?
I say 5, 5.5.
Okay, 5, 5.5. All right. Did it go lower than that over the last week, or did it go higher than that, or that's an average?
It's just an average.
Okay. So what about, how do you feel since the last session until now? How do you feel?
About the same.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Okay, pretty good. That's good. So what are some of the problems you're having? And don't mind me writing, because I want to capture everything you say. So I'm going to write it down so, I will not miss anything.
Well, I feel overwhelmed.
Okay.
At work, I have time-sensitive tasks that need to be completed, and I just get this overwhelming feeling and anxious whenever I get overloaded with tasks, and that's happening a little bit more often now.
Okay.
And it's starting to roll into my home life.
Okay. Okay. So you say you get overwhelmed and it's starting to roll into your home life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember I said we were going to talk about what the cognitive behavioral therapy is like. Now, our thoughts, our automated thoughts, the things we think affect the way we behave. Our thoughts sort of lead into our actions. So our thoughts lead to the way we feel and the emotions that we experience during, when we're having one of those, thoughts that keep us. So we're going to look into one of your problems. You listed several: being overwhelmed, inability to prioritize, and it's how it's affecting your home and work life. So which one do you think you would like to talk about?
The way that I feel when it comes down to prioritizing the task.
Okay, so the problem you want to discuss is not being able to prioritize. Do you want to explain that a little bit more to me?
Just when it's time sensitive, and it seems like a lot of them, a lot of tasks come in at one time. I want to get them all completed, but I just have an overwhelming feeling, and it takes part of my day just trying to figure out what to do first, and then I try to do like maybe one, and then I stop and do the other. It just gets overwhelming.
Okay, so is there inability to prioritize? Okay, so what I need for you, I'm going to give you some homework. What I need for you to do is, when you get those feelings of overwhelming feelings, I want you to write down what your thought is at the moment. Because remember, our thought influences our emotions or the way we feel. So I want you to write it down. The moment you're having the thought, what is going through your mind at the time. And then when you come out to the next session, we will go over those. Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and, as you get ready to close the session out, we're going to go ahead and summarize what we have discussed so far. So today we talked about your mood. We talked about, if there were any changes, anything new that happened, and you said there weren't. You talked about some of the problems you were having, still being overwhelmed, not being able to prioritize. And then I went ahead and I told you about what cognitive behavioral therapy does. It looks at the thoughts, the automated thoughts, and the emotions that come with those thoughts and the feelings. So, and I gave you homework. So basically, that is what, when you come back the next time, you're going to go ahead and schedule another appointment. And now I need to ask, how do you feel? I'm trying to get feedback from you. How do you feel about the session?
I feel that it's going to be helpful to me.
Okay. All right. So looking forward to seeing you in another week or so. And just go ahead and make your appointment, and then we'll see you then. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.